I'm Edward R. Murrow. For a little while, I would like to review with you the great conflict of our times, one which demands and must get the attention and the involvement of each one of us.
You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. During the Cold War, the USSR and the US spent more than 40 years trying to expand their influence across the globe. Through proxy wars, economic skullduggery, and arms races, these two countries sought to become the world's sole superpower. Historians still debate some of the details, but it is generally accepted that the Cold War ended with the collapse of the USSR in 1991. But not everyone agrees. Here's where it gets crazy. In December 1961, a Soviet named Anatoly Golitsyn defected to the US via Finland. As a member of the KGB, the USSR's intelligence agency, Golitsyn's knowledge of Soviet secrets made him an ideal defector. When a government meets with a defector, it has numerous concerns. Is this defector legitimate or a double agent? Does the defector have real information, or were they purposely misinformed? Golitsyn's story appeared to check out. The information he gave in Europe was reliable enough to justify flying him to the United States. Golitsyn provided information about the French intelligence community that shocked President Kennedy, and some of his other claims were confirmed by secondary sources. Others were not. He also told the CIA an amazing story. According to Golitsyn, the KGB reorganized in 1959, becoming two separate agencies, an outer KGB and an inner circle charged with handling the real strategy. This inner circle planned one of the most ambitious deceptions in human history, to fake the fall of the Soviet Union. But how? Golitsyn claimed the fall of the USSR would be carefully orchestrated by this group, that they would allow the USSR to seemingly crumble, separating into independent countries, liberalizing the economy, and appearing to move toward democracy. The world would believe that the US had won the Cold War. Perhaps, he mused, the Berlin Wall would fall. Yet the former Soviet states would still be under the control of the Communist Party and the KGB. What's more, he added, Russia and China would appear to have a split, but would continue cooperating in secret. The ultimate goal would be to lull the US into a false sense of safety, eventually crippling its finances and isolating it diplomatically. It's no surprise that many CIA agents didn't buy into the story. However, James Angleton, head of the CIA's counterintelligence staff, believed Golitsyn's claims and spent much of his career hunting for KGB moles in the US government. Eventually, he resigned and partnered with Golitsyn as the defector wrote two books about this conspiracy theory, New Lies for Old and The Perestroika Deception. The KGB was dissolved in 1991, replaced by two organizations, the FSB, a secret police agency, and the SVR, a foreign intelligence service. KGB spy. Conspiracy theorists cite Russia's continued military spending as evidence that something doesn't add up in the mainstream narrative. Additionally, historian Mark Riebling calculates that Golitsyn's first book is more than coincidentally accurate. Of the 194 predictions made in New Lies for Old, Riebling claims that 139 were proven correct by 1993. Yet skeptics argue there's little hard proof for this theory. So where does this leave us now? Did the KGB really disband, and did the US really win the Cold War? Did the Cold War ever actually end? One last note. The majority of KGB archives remain classified today. Whether or not the war ended, there is apparently still something they don't want you to know.
These are the sinewy threads of our past. Keeping America strong, this is our challenge. Keeping the vision of liberty bright. Keeping the threads of our past. And above all, made freedom the birthright of every man. That quality must still live within us, for without it, we are surely lost.